details, Eva, I know you just got there. What can you tell us?
Rob, aside from some Capitol police patrolling the outside here of the state Capitol building, it's quiet out here. All the action is taking place inside the building where they're trying to locate this alleged bomb. Now, I'm told that around 4:15, 4:30 today, someone called state police saying there's a bomb inside of this building, the state Capitol building. Then they called back saying they would detonate that bomb in 2 hours. Again, a very credible threat, I'm being told. Now, the building has been cleared. Everybody has been told to leave. All the entrances are closed. I'm also told that the buildings surrounding the state capitol area, they're not affected as of right now. What's going on right now inside of the building is that police and canines are sweeping it again, looking for that bomb. And I'm told that process could take, the alleged bomb rather, and I'm told that process could take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. For now, we are live with the Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom in Harrisburg. Ewa Roman, CBS 21 News.
Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom with Ewa Roman. And Eva, what can you tell us?
Well, Rob, it's a very active scene out here right now. Let me show you. Firefighters are trying to get the SUV out, but not only that, they're trying to get the 3 dogs that are inside. I believe they're German Shepherds inside of that SUV out. I'm told that the woman who was driving the SUV, she was taken to a local hospital, but it looks like she wasn't hurt too badly. Emergency crews were called out here to the 1200 block of Boiling Springs Road in Monroe Township, Cumberland County, around 8:15 tonight. The deputy fire chief tells me he's not sure yet what caused the crash. The driver, again, a woman, was taken to a local hospital. Again, it looks like she wasn't hurt too badly. There was a man inside of the home, but he's okay tonight. He was not hurt. Again, there are 3 dogs inside of that SUV, and they have called in some animal experts to take them out. Take a look as they're bringing out that cage right now. Everybody seems to be okay. It appears that this scene looks a lot worse than it really is. For now, we are live with the Cumberland County Mobile Newsroom in Monroe Township tonight. Ewa Roman, CBS 21 News.
We begin with breaking news in the Jerry Sandusky child sex scandal tonight. 2 big headlines developing right now.
That's right. And Eva Sandusky's attorney really is filing everything from A to Z in this motion, and you just talked to him.
That's right. Amendola tells me that one of the many reasons he wants this case dismissed is because he says 7 out of the 10 accused victims' charges lack specific. There are no dates, no times, no locations. And you guys, that's only a small part of this 251-page motion to dismiss filed by Amendola and his team today. Christina, police say a large group of people, both men and women, went to a college party looking for a fight. They got one. The night ended with 1 man shot and wounded, another on the run.
Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom in Susquehanna Township with the story. Eva.
Rob, a nonprofit group out of Denver, says that about 70% of people who win the big jackpot lose it all within several years. So it's a good idea to have financial planning as well as emotional planning. Right now, the Susquehanna River level is at 4 feet. Engineers in the city say they expect about 10 inches of rain to fall by Sunday night. That means they don't expect it to hit above flood stage, which is 17 feet. This lawyer isn't alone. Tribex says in the past 5 days, he's received calls from about 50 lawyers from around the world, all who want to get in on this. And you can learn a lot on YouTube, like how to fold a week's worth of clothing for your vacation and bring it onto a carry-on. But that's not the only thing. You can also learn how to change your oil. Christina, among the chaos, confusion, and panic, this mom stayed calm. It was perhaps her quick decision to move her SUV that saved everyone's life. Carrie Lynn Troop was at a ballpark off London Vale Road in Paradise Township with her 11-year-old son Tyler, who was there to play in a game, and 2 of her other kids. Around 8 or so Friday night, the rain and wind came fast and hit hard. Everyone moved under the pavilion. That's when Carrie Lynn moved her SUV closer. Suddenly, the pavilion came crashing down.
There was a lot of panicking. There was a lot of, the kids were scared. I mean, it was, my son was hysterical. It was heartbreaking to watch them go through it, to hear them screaming and to hear all these people like they didn't know what to do.
Kids and parents were trapped underneath. The pavilion also landed on Carrie Lynn's SUV with her 2 kids inside.
I didn't know which way to go. I mean, I had one kid that was underneath the pavilion and two that were in the truck that it just fell on.
Her kids were okay. Fire crews rescued the others. Some went to the hospital, others walked away from the scene. Police said there were minor injuries. Carrie Lynn's quick decision to move her SUV kept the pavilion from crashing down even more.
The corner of the pavilion actually went through the passenger side windshield of the car while they were in it. I saw they were okay, so I went around to find Tyler and trying to find between all the debris and all the people, and it was pitch black. I finally found my son, grabbed him up, and took him to the car.
And just when she thought things couldn't get any worse, Carrie Lynn got home and saw that half of her roof was gone. Her fence torn apart and trees all over the place.
Right now, we're just hoping that there's no further damage and that we can salvage anything.
But they're just things, she says, ones that can be replaced. State police say that first responders were able to pull everyone out of that collapsed pavilion safely. Again, the National Weather Service today confirming that a tornado did hit that area.
And now, an exclusive in the Jerry Sandusky child sex abuse scandal.
As the appeals process continues, Joe Amendola, Jerry Sandusky's lead counsel, is talking to CBS 21 News.
And he's telling us tonight what he believes went wrong leading up to Jerry Sandusky's conviction.
CBS 21's Ewa Roman joins us live in the studio tonight. Amendola says Sandusky's case is the most difficult one he's ever had to prepare for. Ewa calling it an impossible task.
That's right, Tanya and Rob. You know, he says from the very beginning he was set up for failure, having only 4.5 months to prepare to save a man from life in prison. In the end, Amendola failed, and there are many things, he says, he would have done differently. Joe Amendola, Jerry Sandusky's attorney, sat down with me at his office in State College to talk about what he thinks went wrong in his efforts to prove his client's alleged innocence.
Well, gee, he was convicted of 45 counts of terrible crimes. Of course there are things he would have been. I'd have to be an idiot to say no. But you know, hindsight's always 20/20, and you're dealt the hand you're dealt with.
The number one hurdle, Amendola says, was something he had no control over, the amount of time he spent preparing for the trial. Because the judge denied a continuance several times, he had only 4.5 months to get ready.
You'd have to break it down, and the only way to do that is to go through it page by page.
On top of that, the boxes of evidence he had to go through were stacking up quickly.
All of this information was flooding into us, which we were trying to decipher to come up with other ways to show that these accusers might well be lying, which is what Jerry was saying. And we were cut off at the pass.
It's not fair, Amendola says, especially since the lawyers for the other two Penn State officials charged with lying about what they knew have a lot more time to get ready for their trials.
And then you look at Gary Schultz, and you look at Tim Curley over a year later, and still no date now, because I'm sure the January 2013 date is going by the wayside. The preliminary hearing's not even scheduled until next month, the 13th of December, I think. And you look at their case with 2 charges, one of which is the equivalent of a traffic ticket. It doesn't look right.
Something else that didn't look right, Amendola says, was the interview with Bob Costas.
Completely innocent and falsely accused in every aspect?
Well, I could say that, I have done some of those things.
Looking back, Amendola wishes he would have handled that differently.
Obviously, Monday morning quarterbacking is always great.
You should have been coached a little bit?
Well, not only coached a little bit, but I think I would have said to Bob Costas, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask, here are the questions that you're permitted to ask Jerry. And Jerry would have known the answer, because the answer was simple. I'm innocent.
Going back even more, Amendola wonders if he was even the right guy for the job.
The longer I stayed in, the harder it got for me to say maybe I want to get out. I kept thinking somebody else was going to jump in, maybe some nationally high-profile attorney. And
Amendola stayed, working with a small team. He says he did the best he could, but he's not giving up on Sandusky, who still proclaims he's innocent.
Even though he's been convicted, do you feel like he's innocent?
Oh, I think based upon what I know, if I had been a juror, I would have had a reasonable doubt.
I also asked Amendola if he wishes he would have allowed Sandusky to testify at trial. Amendola says, we'll never know, but looking back, we wouldn't have had anything to lose by Jerry testifying. Rob, Tanya?
All right. prices.
21's Ewa Roman has more tonight. She's live with her exclusive report with the York County Mobile Newsroom in Fairview Township. Ewa?
Rob and Tanya, I got my hands on the termination letter from Fairview Township officials to Hockenberry. Nowhere in it does it say that they fired him because of the photo. Instead, they say they let him go because of alleged misconduct at work. This picture shows former Fairview Township Police Chief Scott Hockenberry posing with a topless woman at a bike fest in Maryland in September. A lot of people seeing the photo with the woman topless, they just kind of want to know, what were you thinking?
I'm talking to her husband, who's to the left of me, but she's short, so I was leaning down talking to her. Well, I turned back around and I was kind of leaning back against whatever I was on, but I leaned back to talk to her, and my buddy's like, "Hey, smile," and I just looked up at him like, because he'd been taking pictures all week, and he takes a picture, and I look over, I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Hockenberry ordered his friend to delete the photo, and he thought that's what he did. About a week later, one of the Fairview Township board members asked him about it. Then about 2 months later, Hockenberry received this letter telling him that Fairview Township board members fired him because of misconduct during a criminal case at work. But his lawyer says if you look through the paperwork on the case the board is citing, Hockenberry didn't do anything wrong.
I couldn't believe I was being terminated for doing my job. I mean, that is part of the job of any police officer, and if you're the top police officer in the department, you certainly have obligations to the community.
With a 9-year-old son to support, Hockenberry is now unemployed, and this 18-year veteran of the Fairview Township Police Force isn't really even sure why.
The whole thing saddens me. I mean, I put 18 years in, I moved up through the ranks in the department. It's not like they brought me from outside. It's not like they, you know, I thought was in pretty high regard with the township.
I asked Hockenberry if he would ever want his job back. He declined to comment. His lawyer tells me that he is investigating the actions of these board members. Live with the York County Mobile Newsroom in Fairview Township tonight, Ewa Roman, CBS 21 News.
So how do you fill these out?
It was a very exciting time at the Gulf gas station in Susquehanna Township today. People were buying up Powerball tickets, hoping they'd be the ones to win $550 million. Even my photographer Joe got in on the action. The number one thing people say they'll do if they win is take care of family.
When I win, I'm going to take care of the grandchildren, take care of my son and daughter-in-law, and of course my parents, and I would probably donate some of it to a charitable organization, and then I would just get lost.
Call in sick.
For the rest of your life?
For the rest of my life, yep. Take care of my mom, take care of my son, and take a long vacation.
Before you do anything with your winnings, here's some advice from people who won it big. Stick to a budget, invest wisely, learn to say no, and be prepared to lose friends while riding an emotional roller coaster of joy, anxiety, guilt, and distrust. Doug Humphrey bought his ticket but isn't too excited about actually winning.
$550 million now. What do you do with it all?
Give it away.
All of it?
Most of it. Don't you think? I just think it would complicate life.
And there are many tales of lottery winners who wind up in financial ruin. But if you plan properly, experts say, you can win big in life after you win the lotto.